Hi, my name is Dominic and I'm working on a small cozy dating simulator where you can romance bullets with demons. So, ALARIC is basically a mix of classic boomer shooters and Metroidvanias. You can think of it as the product of Castlevania Symphony of the Night and Doom loving each other and having a wee baby. I'm kind of late to all of this Devlog stuff because of work and developing the game, but I figured it would probably help me showcase the game a bit more and bring some attention to it. So, let's start at the beginning. You're basically this badass demon bounty hunter boy called ALARIC, and you're on your way to save the world and kill the big bad demon king, which is also your uncle. He kinda killed your parents in the backstory, which gives ALARIC here a good reason to seek revenge. So he sets off to the big evil castle, and this is where the game starts. Our boy here didn't quite come prepared, because he started out with only his trusty little whip, which is in no case a not specific franchise. But not far into the castle he finds his first gun, enabling him to cast a spell. And so you start blasting your way through the castle, gain some new weapons, level up, meet lovely new friends, and defeat some bosses along the way. I had the idea for this game for a very long time in my head before I finally started working on it. It was basically supposed to be a fast-paced aggressive shooter which felt badass to play, and it would have a nice medieval dark fantasy aesthetic because these are things I'm pretty obsessed with. And I wanted to do something a bit different when it comes to gameplay. For example, almost every weapon in this game is dual wieldable, which means you could carry a revolver in one hand and a shotgun in the other, which would enable you to pull off some sick combos, like for example pulling someone close to you with the whip, then shooting them in the face with a point-blank shotgun blast. Or kicking someone in the air and quick-scoping them with a sniper. Even if you're not using any guns, ALARIC's melee abilities can be strong enough to deal enough damage on their own. If you're feeling funky, you could always do a gunless run and put all your stats into power. That said, I always loved Castlevania Symphony of the Night for the fact that you can level up and have some kind of RPG progression to grind towards. Next to finding gear and new weapons. Because of that, you can find new gear, weapons and level up in ALARIC and upgrade certain stats for him, which proves quite helpful for defeating stronger enemies. But also to make some crazy builds like almost getting a critical hit on every shot, or being a defense tank who doesn't mind being slapped by enemies 10 times in a row. On the shooter side of things, I took heavy inspiration from the modern Doom series and games like Quake and Dusk. The gameplay reflects that in its combat, gunplay, enemies and most importantly, I am obsessed with game music and soundtracks, and I love the way how it enhances gameplay and gives it a special feel. One of the reasons why I got into music myself. For example, only because of Mick Gordon, bless this man, did I buy an 8-string guitar myself and use it for many tracks in ALARIC soundtrack. It was important for me that ALARIC had a sick and badass soundtrack so that players themselves can feel like total badasses when they're gunning through hordes of demons. Every main area of the game even has its own musical vibe to it, to further spice things up, like the dungeon area using a bit more of medieval instruments. Or the Rotten Garden being a bit more on the synthier side. Many of the songs are already on YouTube or Spotify or any other music platform in hopes to promote the game or my music. So if you're interested, you could check those out. At the state of this video, I'm actually in the finishing steps of development because there's only one last area I have to finish before working on the final boss and some bit of post-game. Normally, as far as I know, devlogs kinda start at the beginning of the development process, but yeah, I kinda missed that track. But if you want to support Alaric, you can head to its Steam page and maybe even drop a wishlist. The game already has a demo if you want to check it out for yourself. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you want to see more, let me know in the comments. And thank you for watching.